Praise. All righty. Let's go ahead on and get down to business. Business. And we pray. Surely I am being turned to thee, O Allah, being upright to he who originated the heavens and the earth. And I am not of the polytheists. Surely my prayer, my sacrifice, my life and my death are all for Allah, the Lord of the worlds. No associate has he in this of my commandment. I am of those who submit. O Allah, thou art the king, and there is no God but thee. Thou art my Lord, I am thy servant. I have been greatly unjust to myself, and I confess my faults. So grant me protection against my faults, O Allah, for none grants protection against faults except thee. And turn away from me the evil and indecent morals. For none can turn from me the evil and indecent morals but thee. But guide me, O Allah, to the best of morals, for none guides to the best of morals but thee. O Allah, bless Muhammad and the followers of Muhammad, as thou didst bless Abraham and the followers of Abraham. And make Muhammad and the followers of Muhammad successful, as thou didst make Abraham and the followers of Abraham successful. For surely thou art praised and magnified in our midst. And O Allah, we beseech your aid, guidance, and protection, your forgiveness and your mercy. We invoke your spirit. We seek refuge in thee from the accursed Satan. We thank you for your wonderful servants, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. May their spirits descend upon this meeting, and all who attend this meeting be blessed, and all of those who we come in contact with, let they be blessed. Let the Black nation be blessed. Let our efforts to submit to you, O Allah, be blessed, and to make the most out of this day. All of these things we ask in the name of your bountiful servants, your great servants, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. In their names we pray. Ameen.
Ameen.
Ameen. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, to whom all praise is due forever. And in the name of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Christ exalted, and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the Messiah in our midst, the Mahdi in our midst, I'd like to greet my dear brothers and sisters in the nation, greetings of peace and paradise. Assalamu alaikum.
You're on mute for some reason.
I hope that Holy Ghost ain't got in here and start muting stuff. Yeah, I just wanted to say Ramadan Mubarak, Assalamu alaikum to everybody. And
Ramadan.
yes, yeah, we're winding this thing on down tomorrow. Inshallah, tomorrow will be the last day of the Ramadan Straightwire. And since we've got some pretty good response over the course of the month, we may add a day of training or specialized study. We'll see. We'll see about that, because I don't want to commit to it unless I can commit to it, and I don't want to have anything vain in my oaths. Sometimes when you're feeling good, when you're feeling good about Islam, you're feeling good, you just want to give away everything you got, but you need the stuff that you got. So it might not be. It's a good idea on one end, but on the other end, you don't want to hurt yourself trying to help yourself. So we will certainly be looking at that. And I'm looking at a couple of things, to try to give more. And that's what we should do as believers. We should strive to try and give more. And as we know, tomorrow is the last day of Ramadan. And I am so glad that in the nation we have decided when we going to start and when we going to stop, as opposed to waiting on somebody to see a moon somewhere when you already know when the moon come in. What you looking for? What if it's cloudy? you know, and I've kind of been feeling some kind of way about that for years, that, we got electron telescopes, electron microscopes. We got all kind of sophisticated gear of measuring that let us know exactly when the moon comes in. But we want to, as a Muslim community, we still want to wait until somebody see it. That worked 1,400 years ago. And not that it don't work now, but I mean, why not? What did the scriptures say? Which of my favors will you deny? Muhammad gave us a superior, mathematically oriented language that enabled a lot of these complex and super accurate measuring devices that we have today. So why not take advantage of the favor of Allah? So we'll be ending, inshallah, tomorrow. And on Thursday, we have the Eid prayer. Now, I would say that we could, and if you all want to, we can all watch it together, participate it together as a group on Thursday. Because the only thing we need to do is just pull it up on the internet, and then share the screen, and then we can share the experience as well, since we've been sharing everything else for this last then inshallah it will have been 30 days. So I'm very thankful to Allah for each and every one of you. I know y'all say I'm saying that all the time, but Lord knows, he knows I mean it. And, because I tell you, in you, I see soldiers, and I see people that I wouldn't mind fighting with and fighting for, you see. Because we present ourselves. We have presented ourselves, and this technology has allowed us to understand the presenting of ourselves from an entirely new perspective. When you can make a diagram out of the energy flows, the way energy is flowing to us, from us, and through us, and understand the workings of Allah, understand how Allah is directing our lives, how he's directing our energy. It is truly a blessing. And then we got really blessed this month too with Sister Cheryl and Brother Lukeman. I mean, wow, man, what a gift. And I'm just so thankful to Allah today for the enhanced the enhanced understanding and the enhanced uh, uh, examination of our holy book this month. And thank you everyone for participating. So we will go ahead on, and as I had said a couple of days ago, I want to finish out Ramadan. Not that I'm going to just keep my mouth shut. My mouth kind of opens up automatically sometimes, but not that I'm going to shut up, but I am going to shut up to a degree, because closing this out, I really want to hear more from you. Would really like to hear more from you in general, what you have to say. And then it allows me to measure to a degree uh, the the effect of STW. We're not doing this just to be doing it. We're doing it because we want it to have an effect on you. You know, we want you to be the best Muslim that you can. We want to serve Allah, and if we serve Allah with STW, then you're going to serve Allah. So that's like 2 for 1. That's 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 better than the senior citizen day at the grocery store. You know, I get over there on Wednesday. I show them my little AARP card and get my 5%, 10% off. That we are in STW. We are uh, if we are effective, we're giving Allah 2 for 1, and Allah is going to reward us. He's actually rewarding us as we go. But I think he's going to give us something above and beyond, something that we will be pleased with. And it made me think. I was thinking earlier today, in the last couple of days or so, that it would be helpful if we just developed a posture. And I'm certainly talking about myself first. Develop a posture of work and train our attention to doing the work, and not worry so much about the reward, even though Allah is constantly poking this reward in front of our face the whole time, telling you what the reward is. But if we concentrate on the work, that's the best thing, because if you concentrate, if you get to thinking about the reward, well, when is the reward gonna come? Then it seems like that's a long time. Seems like it'd take a long time for the reward to come. But if you concentrate on work, then whatever it is and whenever it is that Allah decides to bestow this on us, it will seem, what did the Quran tell me? It seemed as though we did not tarry but a day. Use that word, tarrying for a day, tarrying for an hour. And it's talking about time. It's talking about the perception of time. They say time flies when you're having fun. And the whole thing of tarrying, it points us to this reality of how time seems to go, how sometimes time seems fast, sometimes time seems slow. But if we are working, it always goes fast when we are working. And Allah is always more pleased with us, I think, when we are working, because if we are working, what we're doing is that we are helping to permeate this physical universe with his idea, with his uh, with his aims and with his purposes. And of course, he could do it without us, but he wants us to do it so that we can share in the glory of God. He wants us to do it because he wants to share it with us. But we can't share it if we don't do anything. And that's part of the ARC triangle. See, the reality of the need to do for self actually puts us on the same page as Allah. If Allah is concerned about the resurrection of the dead, and we are concerned about the resurrection of the dead, then that that puts us on the same page, you see, which ultimately brings us closer to Allah. See, the closer we get to Allah, the less confusion we have, the less problems that we have in trying to solve our day-to-day problems. You know, this is what we want. It's an easier time. It's overall easier. You know, we are always going to have some difficult times because it is difficulty that brings ease. And then once we begin to understand the dichotomies of life, the good, the bad, the hot, the cold, the light, the darkness, the evil, the good, all of these things, when we understand how all of these things work for the good of those who love the Lord. And as we grow in our spiritual maturity, then we begin to gain more balance, as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan gives us in Study Guide for, I think number 4, it's the struggle for balance. So we have to have balance, and to have balance, we need to have an appreciation of the things that keep us in balance, the things that throw us off balance. And this is part of the blessings that we have with Mr. Hubbard and this technology, is that he has diligently researched the things that take us off balance. See, and so by understanding the nature of the imbalance, then we are more able to bring ourselves back into balance and to live longer and for our life to go smoother. See, you know, we have to have a balance between difficulty and ease. So this is why the Quran teaches us that man was made to face difficulty. You wasn't made to run away from difficulty. You was made to face difficulty, because there's no way there's going to be a difficulty factor. And that's what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he brought these beautiful concepts to us to make us aware that you have a difficulty factor anytime that you want to bring your desire into fruition. Desire feeds the will, and then the will has to overcome the difficulty factor, you see. So we've got technology in the study group. You know, the Dianetics and Scientology just helps us to look a little bit further, a little bit deeper under the hood, and find even more tools that would aid us in the resurrection and aid us in acquiring our salvation. So it's a good day. It's a great day for the black man and the black woman. It's a great day for everybody. If it's a good day for us, it's a good day for white folks, to be honest with you. You know, white folks should be happy for us, you see, because we being returned back to our rightful place, you know, it's good for everybody because everything is back in order. When we get back to our rightful place, then they will be able to come out of their self-deception. They'll at least be put in a position to overcome the implant of Yakub, as the minister called it, the curse of Yakub, because he said that L. Ron Hubbard came to break the curse of Yakub. So hope everybody's all right. You know, we, like I said, we stayed up late. We stayed up late last night trying to act like we was grown or something. And I'm not feeling, all things considered, I'm not feeling too bad with the kind of day I had yesterday and the night we had last night. So we are on part.
Sister Jacqueline had her hand up for a while.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. My dear sister Jacqueline, talk to us.
Assalamu alaikum.
Tell us something good. Wa alaikum salam.
Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Quranic.
Brother Batin, thank you for asking us to share our STW experience during Ramadan.
Oh, thank you for having the experience. Thank you for being present to experience. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I had to confront and sit down with myself and put something together, Brother Batin, to say. And I want to say this Ramadan have been by far the best. It has been a huge paradigm shift. We are taught that how would you know if you don't have a teacher? And how would you have a teacher unless one is sent? During this pandemic, I have been sent 2 teachers. As you said earlier, I got 2 for 1. Sister Belinda, I affectionately call my mentor, my friend, and my little sister. Thank you, Sister Belinda. I love you with a full heart. Brother Batin, my big brother, I love you very much. Words cannot adequately describe the case gain I have received in these sessions. The definition of case gain, according to the Textual Dictionary, the improvements and resurgence a person experienced from auditing. Second definition, any case betterment according to the PC. And I've been in both positions. I have been afforded a great opportunity to reflect and work on my individual case. STW have taught me to a greater degree how to connect the Bible, Quran, teachings more effectively to Dianetics and Scientology. It's also pulling me out of the wilderness of North America in my mind. And the thought processes that was implanted in me is being peeled off. All praise be to Allah. A few days ago, I read Surah 54, Ayat 49, and I'll read it again. Surely we have created everything according to a measure. And the definition that we use in STW for measure is, we say mathematic is a way of measure. And we create everything according to a measure. And I have learned, you give good examples, Brother Batin, never thought of when I go to reach for something, that's a measurement. When you get ready to get out to bed to put your feet on the floor, that's a measurement. I thank you for departing all of your wisdom and your knowledge throughout the years with us. I had never considered that everything has a calculation. It just was a cognition for me. I had never seen it that way. And just as you mentioned the word difficult, it has, everything has a difficult factor, just like mathematics have a difficult factor. So I thank you for everything. I thank my STW family for departing all your wisdom and knowledge during these sessions. And I love and appreciate you all. Thank you.
Sister, you know, Allahu Akbar.
I hope that came across okay.
Oh, yes.
Beautifully,
Sister.
sister.
Allahu Akbar. All praises due to Allah.
All praise to Allah.
Allahu Akbar.
Yeah, you know, it's Thank you thank you so much, Sister Jacqueline. And
you to Allah.
And you know, you are certainly a pillar of STW. You know, and in that you've been here. You know, you might not have ever trained on the tiaras, but you practiced them. Be here. You see, and so we can always count on you. And you know, we see your growth too. We see everybody's growth. Belinda, I see Belinda's growth, and I'm sure she see my growth.
Yeah.
And so Allah has just blessed us all really to grow.
Yes.
And so we, at this point, it seems as though we STW, we are growing into a new growth.
Yes, sir.
So we get new people to come in, and they are sort of like fertilizer.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it helps to, it helps to have new ideas and stuff, because it checks you. People, we all got to be checked. We need to be checked, got the new energy that comes in. And of course we got Sister Ania, Sister Tina. We can't forget about our brother President Clinton. I affectionately call him President Clinton. He's such a sweet, humble, beautiful man, and Sister Haviva and Sister Roberta's been with us for just about the whole while. Everybody, and we appreciate brother Gregory. He never says anything, but he's here. We can see him. And now the 215 number, is that Sister Deborah? Durana? Sister Durana. She don't say a whole lot either. But what she said, but she sends these sweet little emails, these sweet little messages that shows that she appreciates. And that means that means so much, because we are all the same. Brother Elijah Muhammad said that to know yourself is to know others. And that you find value in what we are trying to do is so valuable. It's valuable to me. And it's valuable because, like I say, I'm your brother. And, I got psychological needs like everybody else. I get needy myself. And so it's when we think about it, they say Islam is mathematics, mathematics is Islam. And so mathematics is also measure. And then when you take a measurement, the measurement can be depicted sometimes as a value. How much do you value this? How much do you value that? And so your participation shows that you value what is being presented. And we do everything for the pleasure of Allah and trying to get better with it. And I just think it's just a matter of continuing. And I would like to encourage you continue to invite new people. I would love for it to us to have 500 people on or whatever. Well, maybe not 500, but as many people as possible. But but if we just have one or two, if the Savior, Master Father Muhammad, said that he would climb a mountain 40 miles high and eat rattlesnakes just to teach one, then who are we to not want to take time with any or all of our brothers and our sisters if Allah blesses us with something of value? And so thank you, all of you. Sister Cheryl, we thank you. And I think I mentioned everybody that's on Sister Ania, another long time soldier, she comes in and she's always got something with profound value. And she talks with that British accent, and that gives you a whole nother level of attention, because you got to interpret that sometimes. You from the South like me. you're used to different kind of inflection, verbal inflection. So when she talks, she sounds so eloquent, the King's English, very proper. And that's a good thing. I love it. And everybody's bringing that energy, And then Sister Tina, you can't get nothing past her. She, and I love it. I love it. And I know you sent that email, and I hadn't really had a chance to get to it yet, sis. But when I do, we will get together on it. And it's just such a wonderful thing to be in a culture. See, we have a culture. That's what Brother Student Minister Stanley was saying. He was listening to a little bit of the dialogue from yesterday, and he was just talking about how the countenance of everyone. And that's what it is. We have developed a culture. We've developed a culture. We've developed an institution, if you would. See, and I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of each of you. And we gotta, he was noticing how eloquently Sister Haviva, how she reads the Quran, with that very therapeutic voice, so she's into massage therapy. So you can just see that therapy just permeating her voice and everything. I can just imagine what it is to be one of her patients.
That's right.
So, thank Allah for all of you. And so as we go into this last day, these last 2 days, just keep that in mind, that you are appreciated. You are appreciated, and I know you appreciate me. You tell me, you bless me. You tell me you appreciate me just by getting on the call.
That's right. That's right.
And so I just, man, I can't tell you. Because I was, and I remember one of the first times I said something publicly about Dianetics, it made me think, made me go back to a time when the minister was beginning this work of the rebuilding of the nation, and he was talking to some brothers and sisters who had been in the nation and was coming back. And so the minister was talking to this one brother, and the brother was saying, man, we've been, we've missed the nation, and we want to get back. We want to get back to work. And he said, yeah, brother. He said, you are like a cloud that wants to rain but can't rain, because we didn't have the nation, and we didn't have the facility for the cloud to rain. And so that's how I feel. I've gone through a lot of changes in the nation where, due to me being the kind of person that will speak his mind and speak straight words, that doesn't take too kindly a lot of times to people who hold positions of authority. And to a degree, they have authority if they have the position of authority, but they have a position of authority in structure. But if you are not a Muslim, or I ain't gonna say you're not a Muslim, but if you're not practicing the principles of Islam, it's not authority in function. And so I've been bounced around from the ministry to the prison ministry to all different kinds of things, trying to find a way to express what Allah has put on my heart. And so we finally found something that we've been able to get some type of sustained output and that we can measure. And so I tell you, I'm just so thankful, brothers and sisters. So enough of that.
Brother Bati,
Yes.
I just want to say, please stay and don't go nowhere. We want you to stay right here. You have found your resting place, sir. We really sorry, Sister Belinda.
No need to apologize.
I feel good. I knew that I would anyway. It's a beautiful thing, and I'm just looking forward to building on it, because we know that we ain't crazy. Like I said, your mama ain't raised no fool, and we know if it's valuable to you, it's valuable to others. See, and so it's just a matter of getting the product to others so that they can benefit as well. And so
brother, can I say something?
Absolutely, go ahead, sister.
It is a humbling and overwhelming experience. I mean, to meet you and Sister Linda, Sister Jackie, and just coming here to Georgia. And Sister Belinda, I'm gonna try to do this without shedding a tear now. It's not easy for me to express myself, but I was always stuck on this 144,000. And I kind of think I was stuck on it because I didn't want to accept responsibility. But for me, in my opinion, this is part of the 144,000 that we're being trained to go out and get the rest. This is the way that I see it. And this has been a very humbling experience for me to go the path that Allah has sent me to be a part of this 144,000. And I asked him, make me worthy, help me to be worthy of what you've been so graciously included me in. I never thought in my wildest dreams, and this is my opinion. And he put the people in my path.
It's all right, sis.
Happy tears, happy tears.
He put the people in my path that could help. The difficulty that I had, it was only for me to see what he wanted me to see. But it's very humbling. Me coming to Georgia was part of it. Going into Dynetics, I'm seeing that this was to serve his purpose. And so it's been a very humbling experience for me to accept the responsibility, because I think a lot of it is the difficulty that I had encountered. I didn't really want to accept that responsibility. So that's all I really wanted to say. I just thank Allah for each of you, all for my new family here. But that's all.
All
Sister,
praises to
Thank you,
Allah.
that's
sister.
right.
We appreciate you,
We
sister.
are we are so pleased.
Yes, well,
We are so pleased to have you,
That's right.
our precious sister. You know,
yes.
and just you you and brother Luke Mon have helped to create a new atmosphere, and so we gotta continue to work, together and do believe, enhance our belief and do good. Believe and do good.
Can I thank Sister Cheryl for letting that cloud rain?
Allahu Akbar.
Praise be to Allah.
One thing I don't think, Brother Tony, who's now Brother Abdullah in California,
Abdul Malik.
Abdul Malik.
Yes.
He said something that John Travolta, I guess when the minister was going down to someplace, the Celebrity Center,
Uh-huh.
and brother said that he saw this. He was there. John Travolta went down and started hugging the minister's ankles and said, "Sir, we've been waiting for you." I said that to say what you said, brother. I'm paraphrasing, that even the white folks have benefited or will benefit from us connecting with Dianetics and Scientology because they've really been waiting for us. But if you can talk to brother about that to get the full story, I'm kind of paraphrasing. I was in a lecture with him and he mentioned that, but I don't want to carry it until you get the exact story from him.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I think I will reach out to brother. I remember when he came in the door, back in the 80s, here in Atlanta. I was a student minister in Macon, and brother Salih Muhammad was the student minister here in Atlanta, and I remember, it was brother Tony then, and he's just always been an outstanding brother. And and what happened is that when brother Khaled was sent to Atlanta to help out, he linked up with brother Khaled, and then he really took off. Then that's when that was like a steroid boost for brother Tony when brother Malik Saeed, when brother Khaled was here, and brother Khaled, boy, he was some kind of brother, but that's a sign. I think brother Khaled was a sign that we have to endure. That we have to. The Holy Quran says that Allah loves the steadfast, and I do believe that what happened with Khaled, since I was a minister under Khaled, and had a considerable amount of interaction with Khaled, and really grew to love Khaled because Khaled was just rough. But by Allah had given me a teacher before Khaled that was really rougher than Khaled. He really was, in my opinion, he was tougher than Khaled, but he just wasn't as visible as Khaled. So when Khaled came, you know what I mean, it didn't really rough for me at all, and so But what happened with Khaled, one of the things I believe that happened with Khaled was that he became impatient. See, he became impatient, and the nation was not moving as fast as he wanted it to move. The minister was not doing the things that he thought it should do, which it was a rough thing, because I used to look at Khaled, and it made me think about James Brown, the great singer, James Brown. He used to say, he had this little thing, "Good God, I can't stand myself." And Khaled was such a bad man. I'm telling you, Khaled was captivating. I mean, he was, he was quite a personality. But obviously, and this is what I was saying over the last few sessions, is that we have to be humble, and we have to beware of the arrogance of knowledge, because Khaled broke all of that. He used to break all of that stuff down so eloquently and so plain, that what happened, he just got to the point where he could not tolerate or bear his own evolution, his own presence, his own development. He got to the point where it was too difficult for him to manage, as we talk about managing the 8 dynamics. And so he and you got to get this thing too, where you got to understand this thing where it says in the lessons, it says that we should not have importance among laborers. See, so it made me think about when the minister was in, I think he was in Libya, and then he was supposed to, I think, go to Saudi Arabia, one of those countries in the Middle East, and to deliver a message, I think, to Saddam Hussein. And he said, Khaled told him, he said that, why don't you let me go? Because I haven't done anything. So if I go, then I can be on the record as having done anything. But the minister didn't let him go. The minister went himself. But see, the mere mention of the fact that, well, I want to do something, that tells you something about what he thought about himself. And when you look at the minister's posture, the minister, he did not want to compare himself to his teachers. See, Farrakhan was Khaled's teacher. By the grace of Allah, I met Farrakhan in person and Khaled on the same day. They was on the same plane, and we got them from Hartsfield Airport. And so Khaled was, he was thinking in his mind, what does that say about what you think about yourself when you say, I haven't done anything? Well, maybe it ain't for you to do, bro. And then that might be a manifestation of maybe you thinking a little bit more of yourself than you ought to, which goes to the importance, being important. And L. Ron Hubbard talks about importance as well, about people feeling important. And see, there is a certain amount of aberration or limitation of perception when you start thinking that you are important, or when you think that you are interesting. And there are several things in the technology, several things in the scripture, several things in the supreme wisdom even. And I'm sure, I think when you go to the, what's the name of the study guide, the number of the study guide, the characteristics of humility? See, these things are of utmost importance. You know, just work and study. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad told the minister, he said, brother, don't worry about where you are in the scripture. He said, just stand up. That's all you got to do. But that's what we do a lot of time. And then that's what our condition has sort of dictated to us, is that we needy. We needy people. So we need something that would validate us, or that would show somebody else that we have value. We be hungry for that kind of stuff. Like I say, you see the sisters that wear these long eyelashes and all this kind of stuff. They feel that they are adding value to themselves. All of these extensions. You see these hair extensions. I mean, ain't no black folks in history that never had no hair that long. Hair going all the way down, dragging the floor. When the minister said it's unbelievable. And so I'm just saying, see, out of all of the things that we get, see, we need to get these things. See, these things are important. They are important because we have to learn how to manage ourselves. And these tools given to us by Mr. Hubbard enable us. They give us the data. They give us the knowledge of self. You have to, if you're going to manage something, how you going to manage something and you don't have the knowledge of that which you're trying to manage? You see? So it just made me think about Brother Khaled. Khaled was, like I said, he was, man, I learned so much. I learned so much from Khaled, just by studying him and then studying the effect that he had on people around him and feeling his energy, being aware of his, of his tenacity. That man had tenacity, and then had a heart of gold. He had a heart of gold. I remember in the early days that the minister was telling us about Colin. Would be out in the park and he'd get homeless people and take them, fix them up, give them something to eat, give them some food, buy them some clothes. He was a real tender and kind-hearted man, you see. And so I thank Allah. I thank Allah for Khalid. Unfortunately, his exit was not so pretty. But I pray Allah's forgiveness for him, because he got trapped in himself. And it's just like what Malcolm told the minister. He said, I wish that it was you being an example for me rather than me being an example for you, of slipping away from the teachings, of slipping away from the proper respect of the Honorable Elijah of Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So this we need to keep in mind. Out of all of the technology, out of all of this stuff that we study, to be humble. And I say it to you as I've said it over the last 3 years, that we have to be aware of the arrogance of knowledge. And that's a real hot button, because I had one sister that fell out with me just for even talking about the arrogance of knowledge. See? And the arrogance of knowing. So maybe we're gonna be putting together classes, specialized classes, inshallah, maybe even on a weekly basis, outside of what we're doing here. So I see Brother Lukman has joined us. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Ramadan Mubarak.
Alaikum salam, Ramadan Quranic.
Yes, sir. All right. And I don't want anybody to misinterpret, when I address Brother Lukman, I have to respect him for I guess being someone who's studied some of the more advanced courses. And when you begin to study some of the more advanced courses, so you have to pray to Allah to allow you to distill that advanced technology in such a way where it can be consumed by someone who may not have had the same type of exposure to those particular types of concepts. It's not that you can't understand it, but if you study something, then you got that. And so I appreciate, the efforts. And I encourage each and every one of you, even Handbook for Pre-Clears is a wonderful book. And it does take you deep into it. And that's one reason why we can articulate it, is because it has the roots of the higher stuff, like the Philadelphia Doctorate course, Creation of Human Ability, the Phoenix Lectures, courses like that. And really, you can go a long ways with this handbook for pre-clears. I've been wanting to do the fundamentals of thought. I think is one of the best courses that Mr. Hubbard offers. The fundamentals of thought. Think about that. The fundamentals of thought. And in this world, who would have thunk it? So, didn't mean to take this much time. But we thank each and every one of you. Thank you for all of the kind words. And so we still got another hour to go here. So let's talk about part 29 today. Anybody got anything to say about part 29? You go ahead on and say it now, because I got something to say, but I want to hear what you got to say.
Yes, sir, Brother Bateen.
My dear sister Tina, I'm like,
yes, wa alaikum salam, family. Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Quranic.
Yes, sir. Well, I have two things, but I'm just going to share one right now, and to give everybody else a chance. I told you I'm a nerd. I am.
Yeah, this is the nerd society. The
Okay.
Association of Islamic Nerds.
Yes, sir. Well, the minister, this is his birth anniversary, so I wanted to point out something in celebration of him. It's 71 verses 2 through 10. Is Sister Habiba on?
Yeah, she's there.
Yes. 71 2 through 10.
Is that Surah 71, beloved?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, give me a moment to grab it. Okay.
Okay. Pull it up.
That was 71.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the
Verses 2 through 10. Mm-hmm.
In the most holy name of Allah, the beneficent, the most merciful. Surah 71, Noah, section 1. Noah preaches. I seek refuge in Allah against the accursed saying, Ayat 2. He said, O my people, surely I am a plain warner to you, that you should serve Allah and keep your duty to Him and obey me. He will forgive you some of your sins and grant you respite to an important appointed term. Surely the term of Allah, when it comes, is not postponed. Did you but know? He said, my Lord, I have called my people night and day, but my call has only made them flee the more. And whenever I call to them that thou mayest forgive them, they thrust their fingers in their ears and cover themselves with their garments and persist and are big with pride. Then surely I have called to them aloud, then spoken to them in public and spoken to them in private. So I have said, ask forgiveness of your Lord. Surely He is ever forgiving. He will send down upon you rain, pouring in abundance, and help you with wealth and sons, and make for you gardens, and make for you rivers. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allah.
Allahu Akbar. Thank you. And that's the minister. That's him. That is him.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. When it said speak to you in the privately and publicly, oh man, has he done that? Yes.
That's right.
Yes, they come at night in the back door, right?
That's right.
Want to counsel with the
That's
minister,
right.
but don't want white folk to see him. You know?
Yeah.
Praise be to Allah.
That's right. That's right.
Mhm.
Praise be to Allah. Because they're not believers yet. You know, and so they can't see the same thing that we see. It's one thing that I've gotten from the Quran this month. And so I've said, ask forgiveness. Surely He is ever forgiving.
Yes.
And I think when you start talking about forgiving, you really are acknowledging the effect of the reactive mind. Because most of the things that we need forgiveness for are things that were prompted by the reactive mind. You see? And so all praise is due to Allah. And I have often said myself that this book is talking, you know, this is Allah talking to us. So He talks to us through His servants. And the words of Allah, the concepts, the facsimiles that it keys in or whatever it is, it causes His creation to react in a certain way, which is very predictable if you and I understand the science. And that's why He can give us this verse 1,400 years ago, and it almost manifests itself to a T here in 2021. So thank you so much, Sister Tina, for
Yes,
that.
sir. All praises to Allah. Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Anybody else got anything they want to add?
Yes, sir. I would like to read something.
Go ahead.
Ramadan Mubarak, my dear family. In the most holy name of Allah. It's going to be Surah 67, Section 2, the disbeliever's doom. Ayat 15. He it is who made the earth subservient to you. So go about it in the spacious sides thereof and eat of his substance. And to him is the rising after death. Do you feel secure that he who is in the heaven will not make the earth to swallow you up? Then lo, it will shake. Or do you feel secure that he who is in the heaven will not send on you a violent wind? Then shall you know how truthful was my warning. And certainly those before them denied, then how terrible was my disapproval. Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar. Yes, ma'am.
Just wanted to specify how the earth is really subservient to us, and that it's designed to sustain us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Praise be to Allah.
Praise God.
And I look, the thing that jumps out to me in ayat 16 and 17, he asked the question that, do you feel secure? He's asking you, do you feel secure? And so getting back to like our brother Khalid, see, sometimes when you can become so knowledgeable that you begin to feel secure about something that maybe you don't, you shouldn't feel so secure. And then that's why the Quran asks in several places, it talks about, it warns those who feel secure from the chastisement of Allah. And there's another verse, and I forget where it is, that talks about it, says that it asks Allah, he said, to take me to a merchandise that will protect me from the chastisement. Okay. And it just constantly warns us if we and then I guess it's suggesting to us that we should fear Allah, that what Allah is getting ready to bring down, we should not feel secure about it. We should never let ourselves feel secure because we're not. And even if some of us feel like we are justified, the Quran also teaches us, it says that it warns you to prepare yourself for a calamity that may not exclusively affect the unjust. Okay? All right?
Brother Batin,
Yes.
what does that word mean? Take me to a merchandise. The word merchandise, what does that mean?
Something that that is sold. Merchandise is like a commodity. It's something that is of value. Like, lead me to a merchandise. And I think in this particular instance, if you can try to find that scripture for me, Belinda, I would appreciate it, dear.
Okay.
Guide me to a merchandise. Guide me to a body of knowledge. It can be, merchandise is something that people sell. From a merchant, if you go to a merchant is someone who sells goods, sells commodities. And so he say, said, take me to get some goods that would save me from a painful chastisement. And what I see is that those goods are referring to, the wisdom of the judgment, the wisdom of the Quran, the warnings, and that the believers, or that the prophet is trying to sell. See, if I'm trying to sell you something, I'm trying to convince you that this is going to do you good, because you're not going to buy. Only things that you really buy are things that perpetuate your survival. Anything that you own right now in your house, look around your house, everything that you got is helping you to survive, or to survive on a higher level. All right. So lead me to some goods that would help me to avert a painful chastisement. How we doing? We're doing good? Everybody doing good?
Yes, thank you, Brother Barteen, for that. Thank you.
Yeah, shall I lead you? Thank you, Belinda. Shall I lead you to a merchandise that will deliver you? So the merchandise is the warning. The merchandise is the the argument that will put you in a safe place. All right. All right. Well, everybody doing good, I presume.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anybody got something else? 'Cause I got something now. I got 2 pages of stuff over here.
Yes, sir. I have one more thing if nobody else has anything.
Go right ahead, sister. Go ahead, sister.
Okay.
Well, before you do that, our brother Lukeman raised his hand.
Okay, yes, sir.
Alaikum, family.
Walaikum salam.
I was looking at the ayat 15 and 16, and something about the word earth that always kind of vibes with me when I read the Holy Quran. And when it says, "He it is who made the earth subservient to you," there was 2 things that came to mind. One, when you clear the word earth also means, or is defined as, the mortal human body. And I was thinking about what we read from the creation of human ability, when we were told that the earth, or the reactive mind, was made to serve the analytical mind. So it says, "He it is who made the earth subservient to." So our physical body is supposed to serve us. And then it says, "So go about in the spacious sides thereof, and eat of his sustenance. And to him is the rising after that." But then when it says, "Do you feel secure that he who is in the heaven will not make the earth to swallow you up? Then lo, it will shake." That just kind of reminded me of the earth swallowing us up could represent when we become aberrated with regard to the genetic entity. swallowing up or interbulating our theta. So the earth swallowing you up would be the end theta and the end mest. And then when it's the word shake, meaning when we're angry or we're aberrated or we're frustrated, some of us have a tendency. I know me, when I get real heated, I have a tendency to, I kind of get the shakes because I want to grab somebody. So I just thought that the relationship of the earth to the heaven could be like the mind to the body, or the analytical mind to the genetic entity. Maybe somehow it could correspond to each other.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother.
Sir.
All right, brother Clinton.
Yes, sir. Someone else had a sister had spoken before.
Yeah, I thought you might have still had something else before we moved on.
Oh.
Go ahead, Sister Tina. Then we'll come back to you, then, brother Clinton.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, sir. Verse, let me go to it. Chapter 74, verse 18 through 20. And I want to relate that to 77, verse 23 to 24. But first, and the word that I'm looking at is determined. So, Sister Habiba, verse 74, 18 through 20.
Yes, ma'am. Ayat 17.
No,
I will make
74.
74. And what's
Yes, ma'am.
And what's the ayat?
The ayat 18 through 20.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Ayat 18. Surely he reflected and determined, but may he be destroyed how he determined. Again, may he be destroyed how he determined. Allahu Akbar.
And now, Surah 77. Ayats 23 and 24.
Ayat 23. So we determined. How well are we at determining? Woe on that day to the rejectors. Allah.
Okay.
All praises due to him.
How are we at determining? Woe on that day.
Is it okay, Brother Bateen?
Yeah, go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
Okay, because I heard some feedback.
Yeah. Some lingering.
Okay.
Something. But go ahead.
Okay. So determined, that word stuck out to me in those two different surahs. In Handbook for Pre-Clears on page 55, it says, the ideal state is fully self-determined emotion. Only then can one be happy and successful. And so the word determined, it means, one of the definitions is having reached a decision firmly resolved. Having reached a decision firmly resolved. Now, in the study guide, we're taught, the minister teaches us that we're born with a predetermined goal to be one with Allah. So if we resolve ourselves to that decision, that's what Allah has for us. Earlier on, Brother Bateen, you was saying how Allah is in control. And so if we resolve ourselves to that decision, that's the predetermined goal. That's the only reality. So I might as well make up my mind that that's what I want, because that's where we'll be successful. And when I looked up determined and I went to resolve, and resolve is to declare, there's postulate, right? To declare and decide by a formal resolution and vote. Okay. And so I looked up vote, and one of the definitions was declare, postulate. So we have the two within us. One, going back to yesterday's reading, one is a disbeliever and one is a believer, or one is the brown drum, one is the black drum. So we're going to have this debate going on within us. Devil on left shoulder, angel on the right shoulder. So we got this debate going on. And so there's got to be a vote, there's got to be a declaration. Right. Somebody got to win. That's right. So then resolve. Resolve also means to break up and separate, to break up, separate. So it has to be a separation between the two. The angel has to win within us, separate from that weaker side of us. And the antonym, opposite of determined, is hesitant, indecisive, unresolved, wavering, weak-kneed. And so wavering, a synonym of wavering is wobble. And I found that very interesting. Wobble. And we're taught in the study guides that we have a wobble in our nature. Is that right?
That's correct.
Did I say that correct? Okay, we have a wobble in our nature. So it's natural for us to wobble, to go from one side to the other, but we have to make up our mind. Allah wants us to make up our mind, to get rid of the wobble and make up our mind that we're going to serve him. And a synonym of wobble is quake. And if I remember, I was trying to find it in my notes, but on the February 24th, when the minister spoke to us, he was talking about, if he says something, he's talking to the laborers and the council. If I say something and it pricks you, then you need to pay attention to that. And because that's where you need to work on something. I'm paraphrasing. And I thought he used the word quake. I thought he used the word quake, that some of us, we quake under, I believe he said, correction. Brother Batin, do you remember anything, or does anybody remember?
It seems like I remember exactly what you're saying. To be honest.
Quake.
Yeah,
under correction.
I remember. Seems like I remember that exact word.
Yes, quake. And I thought that was very interesting, that quake is a synonym of wobble. And okay, we have a wobble in our nature, and correction can cause us. Now, this is what I came up with.
Bring it.
Correction can cause us to quake under the pressure of a collapsed or deflated ego. So, yes, sir. So, because I don't want to listen to you because I think I know better. So you can't correct me. So that's an ego. That's a inflated ego. And if you deflate my ego, that can cause me. The minister said, I'm going to get a drink. He said, when he said that correction, if that's the word he used, can cause some of us to quake. And then he said, I need a drink. So we go and we fall into our lower desires because we can't handle it. But that's how we determine. That's the decision we make. That's how we end up, because we did not stand firm on the resolution that Allah is in control, and our predetermined goal is to be one with him. So we wind up becoming effect instead of becoming cause. And is that all I have with that? Oh, and also the saying that the minister gave us, I think he said, Jesse Jackson said this, there's nothing more powerful than a made up mind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So Allah, as it said in chapter 77, verses 23 and 24, Allah's determination is what's going to be the final end. And in 74, 18 through 20, how we determine, if we do not determine the way Allah sees it, then that's going to be our demise. And we have to be corrected so that we have to be humble and be corrected so that we can grow into Allah's, into the mind of Allah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, sister. Thank you. Well, when you say determined, that used to be one of my big words before pre-STW, because I come up with my own definitions. And my definition was that determination is what puts you in touch with the God power within you. That was my definition of what determined. And then we're taught that Yaqub had a determined idea.
Mm-hmm.
And determined also means when you are determined, that is the effect of a postulate. When you postulate something, there's a certain level of determination there. And going back to the thing about self-determination, you can also, one of the ways that you can look at self-determination is that it's discipline. Also, the lack of determination, one way or the other, can put you on the fence. And I think you were speaking to that, sister. It can put you on the fence, whether, should I do this or shouldn't do that? You got to determine which way you want to go. All
yes,
right.
sir, to be or not to be.
That's right. And so that is one of the aberrative points that we often run into, is what they call a quandary. Quandary is that when you can't make a decision, you can't determine which way to go. So you on the fence, and then so you have the existence, or you open up room for chaos. You see, all right. And so, yeah, that's certainly a lot in that. And because determination, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to determine. And I think what Mr. Hubbard says too, I forget which course, I believe it's in the PDC course, but that when you actually start putting something into practice, then what that does is that and it enhances or it amplifies the determination. And it is only when you get it on it, see, as long as you can determine something, and then that could be on tone 40, but only when you actually start doing something, that's when the determination gains its polarity. See, when you gain polarity, then the determination, it gets teeth then. All right. So if is Brother Lukeman, were you gonna comment on this? If not, okay. All right, go ahead then, brother. You are muted, sir.
Just two quick points. The first point is, when she was going through the word quaking, it reminded me of Surah 99, which is called the shaking. And the Arabic word is zalzal, which is actually the same word for shock when it talks about the shock of the hour. And the word quake in Arabic also means to be overwhelmed with emotion. That was one meanings of that. And then when she was talking about the antonym, it reminded me of what L. Ron Hubbard talks about, was called the concept of the maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually
or the quandary, yeah.
Right, the quandary is, and that word maybe is actually in the tech dictionary.
Right.
It says it's a maybe is a double flow or a controversion to such a degree that an individual is hung up on it.
Yeah.
A confusion of beingness, a confusion of doingness, and a confusion of havingness, and it's too badly balanced to resolve itself. It's neither no nor yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Maybe. That's you're exactly right. And that's what and he's really, when he starts talking about those maybes, he's really I would say, he puts a lot of emphasis on that, because that's what because I've deal with a couple of there's a couple of independent Scientologists that have written a couple of books, and their thing was that, see, they can't use the same terminology that Mr. Hubbard uses because of the copyright stuff and all that stuff. And so that's what he was saying. He said that it was 4 things that he had identified that aberrated would be the fear, guilt, somebody teeing you off, and quandary, which, like you say, maybe, and as you say, as you were saying, and as Mr. Hubbard also recognizes, the maybe is one of the most aberrative factors that you can have. You see. So thank you, brother. All right, brother Clinton, we ready for you, brother.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum and
Walaikum salam.
Ramadan
You can have
Mubarak.
you can have the rest of the year. Go ahead.
Oh, praise be to Allah, because there's so much to be said.
that might not be enough time, right?
Yes, sir. At this point, I'm gonna go off camera so you probably can hear me clearer. Sister Tina had brought up the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan's birthday, but let me see. Before I do that, I'll just prepare Sister Aviva to line her up to read for me Surah 73, Ayat 20. Surah 73, Ayat 20. Just one moment, Sister Aviva. I have a question for Brother Lukman or anyone who may be able to maybe help me out. I may be thinking a little too colloquial here, but it popped out on me. And Brother Lukman mentioned yesterday, highlighted yesterday, how Allah created everything in pairs. And what kind of popped out to me, I know Brother Lukman is a mathematician, so I saw this pair. The pair is that the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan's birthday is on the 11th, which is 1 and 1. And the year was 1933, 3 and 3. And his spiritual birth year was 1955, 5 and 5. And this year, he'll be, what, 88?
Wow.
88, 8 and 8. So I don't know if we have any numerologists. So I know, Brother Lukman, you are a mathematician. So maybe, if not now, maybe somebody can just look into that. Maybe it means something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll just say this, that it is something about the double numbers, 44, 33, 55, 66, 77, when the minister woke back up, and like you say, he was born in 33. I remember something. I can't really remember exactly what it was about the significance of the double numbers. Do you have something on that, brother Lukman?
I'm gonna look up real quick the significance of the double numbers, but the first thing that comes to my mind, I always go with Revelations chapter 11, and I won't go into it here, but when you read Revelations 11, it's actually speaking, when, at least in my opinion, it's speaking about the fall of the nation and the rise again of the minister and going up into the wheel. That's all in Revelations 11. But I'm going to look up the significance of double numbers right now.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you, sir.
All right. So while he's looking that up, and then anybody got any?
Just Habib was going to read his surah and ayat.
Yeah. Go ahead on and do that while brother looking that up. Go ahead, sister Habib.
That is going to be 73:20, Brother Clinton.
That's right. That's right, sister.
Okay. Ayat 20.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
The Lord knows indeed that thou passeth in prayer nearly 2/3 of the night, and sometimes half of it, and sometimes 1/3 of it, as do a party of those with thee. And Allah measures the night and the day. He knows that all of you are not able to do it. So he has turned to you mercifully. So read of the Quran that which is easy for you. He knows that there are sick among you and others who travel in the land seeking of Allah's bounty, and others who fight in Allah's way. So read as much of it as is easy for you, and keep up prayer and pay the poor rate, and offer to Allah a goodly gift. And whatever of good you send on beforehand for yourselves, you will find it with Allah. That is best and greatest in reward. And ask forgiveness of Allah. Surely Allah is forgiving, merciful. Allahu Akbar.
Beautiful.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you, Sister Aviva. If we notice here, go back on mute. What pops out also on me in this verse, it is saying that Allah knows all about us. Now, in the night, it's dark, we can hide, we can get away with a lot of things, but he knows that half the night, 2/3 of the night, or even 1/3 of the night, we don't even make prayer. And then he says, he knows that all of you are not able to do it. So he has turned to you mercifully. Still, he's being merciful to us, even though we're not doing our obligatory duty at nights. And then he said, read the Quran, that which is easy for you. And further down, it reminds us again, he says, so read as much of it as is easy for you. And now we spoke of charity a little bit yesterday. It goes back into charity now. It says, keep up prayer. We must serve him. Keep up prayer. He's encouraging us, even though in the night we miss so much of prayer. He reminds us to keep a prayer and pay the poor rate and offer to Allah a goodly gift, charity. Be charitable. So in the month of Ramadan, we must serve Allah, pray, read, be charitable, and whatever of good you send on beforehand for yourself, you will find it with Allah that it is best and greatest in reward. And now at the end it says, and ask forgiveness of Allah. Surely Allah is forgiving, merciful. I mean, this verse says so much and for us to submit in so many ways. Maybe your someone can expound on that some more.
Yeah, well, it's to me, it just continues the recurring theme. Sister Ania has her hand up. Is your comments on what brother just said, sis? If not, we'll get that and then we'll get back. We'll get with you. No, we'll take your question or comment.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can actually, if I can if you can give me a little bit more time, because I'm just going through some of my notes and pulling some information out, if so you could come back to me in a little bit.
Okay, no problem. All right. Yeah, in other words, I think he's saying right here on Allah is just acknowledging that he, he's aware, of people that pray. Some people pray more than others, and the God is just basically giving us some things that we can do to keep our relationship with him, to keep the relationship fresh, the charitable aspects. And of course, this is what we're dealing with. It's not rocket science, believe and do good. If you want mercy, have mercy. And then Allah will forgive you as you have mercy on others. And of course, praying, the poor rate, he's really talking, he's going through some of the basic tenets of Islam. And then the thing that I really kind of like is that he really saying the same thing that Mr. Hubbard is saying, that I have been parroting this quite a bit, is that it says that read as much of it as easy for you. And that's what we say even with STW. You may not understand everything that you hear. It's not expected that you understand everything. Read as much of it as easy for you. In other words, if it's easy for you, then that means you have found some reality. You got some ARC, you got some aura in the ARC triangle going. So take what you can. And it goes back to the example that we had given some while ago about if you cut a piece of paper up into 1,000 pieces and then you threw it up in the air and all of it, the paper, it comes down as confetti, it's like chaos. But if you were able to take 1 or 2 pieces of the paper and color it a certain way, when it comes down, when you see that particular when you see that particular piece of paper come down, now you've got something to anchor yourself on. Those are would be like anchor points. All right. And so read as much as it is easy for you. So he's really given us some of the basics of study, some of the basis of learning. And that's what he was saying, that even he said any of this stuff in Scientology. He said, what you do is you listen to or you study and you get what is real to you. See, that is the starting point. Once you get what's real to you, then the mind has a natural mechanism that will help you to connect the remaining dots. So I agree with you, brother Clinton. That this is a very rich ayat that covers so many of the different things. And like I say, when you read of the Quran, that which is easy for you, so that's the book. And so what we're talking about now, this is the wisdom of the book, you know, and I think it should be looked upon as such. Brother Clinton.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you good?
Yes, sir.
Brother Luke,
Fine. Thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, there's still more to say, brother. But I just, as time goes by, I just let it go because I know I missed Night of Power last night. It's something I'll be a part of so much. But it's been, yesterday was a day of trial for me. So it turned out that I didn't get a chance to see. So inshallah, I'll be there next time.
It's all right, brother. It's all right. Brother Lukman?
I'm not too big on numerology.
Okay.
But when I looked up the repeating numbers, they were called angelic numbers.
Okay.
All right.
That gives you a little insight. A launching pad.
Right. Yes, sir.
Okay.
When numbers are repeating, they represent something you should focus on.
Okay, praise be for.
Yeah, I thought about that too, because like you said, you got the 21, like the minister's 88. Mm-hmm. I'm 66. I was born in 55. So when I see stuff like that, I was, it gives me a little interest too. But you have to kind of balance that stuff off, because like the messenger said, you don't want to get too interesting to yourself. And once you get too interesting to yourself, then you start moving in the wrong direction, and you have your attention on that which may not promote the maximum or the optimum rate of development. Okay, Sister Adia, you ready for us yet?
Yes, sir. It was in regard to the numbers and the double numbers, which would run 11 through 99. So 11, 22, 33, 44, etc. They're referred to as master numbers, or as Brother Lukman said, angel numbers. The three main ones being 11, 22, and 33. And the 33 represents, or is said to represent Christ consciousness. And the vibration of 11 is also going to be in relationship with the number 2, because the 1 and the 1 added together would equal 2. So that those are in relationship with one another, and they represent okay, they represent duality. And whatever the number 2 represents, the number 11 will represent the same thing but at a higher vibration. And then vice versa, whatever the 11 represents, the number 2 represents the same but at a lower vibration. So 11 is deals with emotion. And so when that shows up, it's a time for us to keep our emotions in check. It represents intuition, seeking knowledge, polarity, and simultaneous vibrations. The number 11 causes us to use both hemispheres of our brain. And so it deals with vibrations that coexist with one another. And when we look at the number 8, it deals with infinity and also the union of the physical and the spiritual world. So if you look at when you writing the number 8, it's like a continual where you can keep on writing it and you don't get outside of that circle of the 8s, of those 2 circles joined together. And that it also represents divine law and the lesser law. And it represents power and how it is used.
Okay.
The other place that the number 88 would show up is in music, because you have the 88 keys on the keyboard. And there's some other references to music, so maybe you could speak more to that, Brother Batin, on the music side. Those are just some of the vibrations that deal with the number 11 and those double numbers. But it's last year, 2020 was a year that dealt with the number 22. And again, there was a lot being said about gaining mastery of ourselves. That's one of the things that Minister Farrakhan spoke about, of us learning and gaining mastery of ourselves. So again, we see that, as Brother Clinton pointed out, of those numbers showing up in the minister's birth. And you'll notice that at every occurrence of a negative master number, 33, 55, 77, 99, something very significant occurred in those years in the minister's life. And those would also be years when he would be, age-wise, he would be a positive double-digit number. So, there's a lot more to be researched in there, but I think that's enough for us to chew on for right now.
That's
Okay.
right. That's right. Thank you.
All
Thank you, Sister Annie.
All right. Well, we coming up on that time. I wanted to say this particular one here. Ayat 75. Ayat 1 and 2. Sister Habiba.
Yes, sir. Surah 75, the resurrection. Ayat 1. Nay, I swear by the day of resurrection. Nay, I swear by the self-accusing spirit. Allahu
Okay.
Akbar.
Allahu Akbar. And I think this will be a fitting verse for us to end it up on. And the minister pointed out to us years ago that in this surah, Allah is talking about the resurrection. And he said that he is Allah, the sovereign, the maker, the owner, the cream. I mean, not the cream of the planet Earth, but the reality, only reality, that he is swearing. He said, I swear by the day of resurrection. And then he said, nay, I swear by the self-accusing spirit. So Allah, according to the minister, where he was saying that this resurrection thing is real, it's gonna happen. But what he does, he gives you the part of the mechanism of what is going to bring the resurrection, the day of resurrection about. It's going to be the self-accusing spirit, and to me, that's a very comforting surah and ayat, that Allah, he's saying, look, let me tell you something. You can go to the bank with this one, because I swear. You know what I'm saying? I swear on this. And I'm telling you, my backup is the self-accusing spirit, which is me anyway. That's me and you. See, so what happens is that, that self-accusing spirit is, it's sort of like a unit facsimile. We talked about unit facsimiles, and it is the way your mind organizes thoughts. The best thoughts are organized in such a way to be separated. And this unit facsimile is the composition of the self-accusing spirit, or the self-accusing spirit is the composite of all of these, of the highest thoughts, the highest level of thinking, that the mind has delineated these particular things. So just like you got in the reactive mind, you got the stuff, you got all of the pain and you got all of the anger, you got all of the lower emotions. And so that's got its place in the real estate of the mind. Well, the self-accusing spirit also has a place where it resides. See, and it's and that particular spirit is not, it is sanctified, it is consecrated unto itself. And so that's the best part of you. That is where it said, guide me. When we ask in the prayer, we say, turn away from me the evil and indecent morals, but guide me to the best of morals. See, that's where the self-accusing spirit resides. And Allah is telling you that the best part of yourself is going to overcome this mental and this spiritual death. The spiritual and the mental death is created maintained, perpetuated by the lower emotions. See? So he swears by the self-accusing spirit, by the best part that you and I, it's like grandmama used to say, oh, it's going to be some resurrection in here, up in here. It's going to be some resurrection, see, because the best part, and that might have something to do with why we are told to settle on the best part. The best part is the original part, and it's the strongest.
And why the devil can't settle there.
That's right. That's right. All right, come on, Miss Belinda. Praise be to Allah. All right, brothers and sisters. So that's it for 29 days. For the 29th day, tomorrow, inshallah, we will culminate our Ramadan Straightwire. And I wish I had a medal, a pen or something to give everybody that have participated this month, because it's an expression of your nobility, that we take time. Number one, you take time to read it, and then number two, you take time to sit back and on most days, on many days, you spend upwards of 2 hours discussing it. I just got to think that goes a long ways with Allah, but it would go even further if we can take some of this that we have learned, that we are learning, and put it into practice. So with that, I'm going to just close it on off, unless somebody got something they got to say.
I do.
Go ahead then.
Brother Basi, we just want to tell you that you are our medal. And moving along real quickly, do anybody know about tonight with the ministers concerto?
Yes.
Can someone share that information? Or
Yes, NOI.org. Let me find the time.
what's up? Where can I pick it up at? Where?
NOI.org.
Okay.
Let me get the time for you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna miss that. Now, Sister Haviva, what did you say? You say I'm your what? I didn't quite.
I understand that you are the medal. You don't need to get us no pens. You the medal.
The medal. I'm still no spell
Did
that.
you say you got medal for us, or what did you say? Medal.
Oh, thank you. That's kind. That's a kind word, and I would be telling you a lie if I didn't say that I appreciate that. Yeah, I love to hear good things about myself, don't you?
I do.
I'm not gonna let it go to my head. As Sister Ania reminded me this a while back. Don't let it go to my head, and I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
I do appreciate that, but I'm weak and frail myself. I need encouragement, sister. Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. And these are the things that help you make it through the day. You know what I mean? That's what it is, and that's one reason why I like to praise all of you all. Because you are Muhammad's family. You are worthy of praise. Every last one of you. And like I said, I wish I did have a medal. I wish I had a solid gold 24 karat bullion that I can just lay in your hand right now. You know. And one day it's gonna happen. We just need to hang in there, soldiers. That's all. It's coming. Brother Clint, you were about to say something.
Let me finish answering Sister Habiba. It's
Okay, I'm
8,
sorry.
8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay. You're welcome, sister. Brother Clinton, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Quickly, just a reminder to us not to forget the time that we're living in. We didn't know that the pestilence from heaven would come in the form of COVID-19. And they're talking about the gas situation right now. So please don't forget to get water every time you go out in the street, and fill up any reserve that you have with gasoline, and make sure your tank is always full. Don't go to your bed with an empty tank of gas in your car. Things are going to get worse. We know that. And let's not forget, it's going to get worse, especially when the mercy, who is now the Messiah in our midst, when he leaves us. So we have to get closer together. That's it.
Thank you so much, dear brother. All right. Well, man, for day 29, it's hard to believe. Yeah. Look at brother Luke Mons. Ain't that brother got a beautiful smile? Look at that brother.
Yeah.
Hey, don't turn the camera off now. Yeah, because it's just like Master Farah Muhammad. See, it's something that's inside that smile that's making him light up like that. See, and see that's encouraging to me. See a man smile like that.
You're making me blush, brother. Stop it.
Yeah, well, that's all right. You can see he's a big man too. You know what I mean? So he got a big smile, and I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy to have him, on the team with me. We teammates, And
could I mention something real quick?
Go ahead, brother.
I don't know if this would be the right place to do it, but yesterday I had a chance to speak with Brother Wahid, and as I was speaking to Brother Wahid, it was a weird. I don't want to say weird, but I saw an image of a person, and then I was curious. I said, I wonder if this is the Brother Wahid, because I'm talking to this brother, and he's, he's inflating my head up, and I'm like, oh, brother, I appreciate it, thank you, and I appreciate it, and I thank you, and finally I said, brother, I got a question. I said, how long have you been in the nation? He said, brother, I came in the 60s. I said, so when the nation rose back up, I said, how long, when did you come back in? He said, oh, brother, I was there when it started. I said, are you, I don't know what y'all are doing, but I want to be a part of it, Wahid? He goes, yes, sir. I said, so you're the Wahid? He said, oh, brother. I said, brother, I can't believe I'm on the phone with you. I said, bro, it's an honor and a privilege. And he was, trying to talk it down. I said, no, brother. I said, I bow and I take my hat off to you, brother. I said, I had no idea I was on the phone with this giant. And he started laughing. But Brother Wahid had made a suggestion. And I had told him to, drop it in the ear, but I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna put us both on the spot. Please forgive me for doing this, brother. But he said we should do a podcast to reach more of our people with this.
Yes, sir.
He said we should reach. He said because there's more believers out there that are not getting involved with the Dianetics. And a really wide laugh. And he said, brother, you know, there's so many of the believers who are still on a maybe with the Dianetics. And he had made the suggestion, he had mentioned a podcast. And I said, brother, I said, you know, inshallah, I can see, I would be honored if there was a way that we could do a podcast to reach more of our family, more believers, the way that we're able to tie the teachings with the Dianetics. I think it would open door for more of our brothers and sisters to fall in sync and fall in line with the instructions of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Yes, sir.
And forgive me for putting you on the spot, brother.
Oh no, brother. Well, you know, I've seen, you know, I've entertained the whole thing of a podcast for a minute, and to be honest with you, I feel like what we've been doing is sort of the basis for a podcast, and it's just something that, you know, just needs to be you know, thought through. I have a something that I actually have a page. I hadn't really tried to promote it yet, but it's called the Black Mental Health Initiative.
Mm-hmm.
And but it's not really. See, this right here is Muslims. Black Mental Health Initiative is really for all Black folks, for like all Black folks. And so, you know, we just need to sit down and put it together and do it. That's just all it is. I'm all with it. You know, I just, like I said, just like this particular format of the Ramadan every day. I did not want to, and I mean, you was there when I was talking about it, thinking about doing it, and I was a little reluctant because I wanted to make sure that the commitment would be followed through. Because see, we still, the way I see it, I try to be under the auditor's code all the time, 24/7, because the auditor's code is just like, it's almost like, you know, when you washing the body of the dead, you're supposed to treat that body with gentleness and as though it is the delicate entity that it is. And so it's just a matter of planning. I would love to do it, you know, but like you say, you got to be strategic though. Mm-hmm. You got to be strategic because see what's happening. What happened is just like the Quran talks about. It said they did not come divided until knowledge came to them. Mm-hmm. And so we are not the only people. You got other people out here that's trying to. You got some people that's trying to do what we're doing, but they don't have the traction. You see. So just a lot of little things that we have to do. You have to be wise when you make these kind of moves like that, because and then I can go from experience, you know, because we've had some opposition, even in Atlanta, and that's one reason why I used to report the hours myself. Now I ain't saying that you shouldn't report the hours. You know, if you're audited, you could really justifiably report a couple of hours, you know what I mean, of Straightwire, you know, but you know, it's something that we should entertain and see if we can do it. I'm with it. I'm on board.
Well, since you've already had the idea, brother, and I'm just speaking for myself, if you decide to go forward with it, brother, I would definitely do everything I could to support you on that one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, like I say, let's talk, and then we just see what it would look like, and how it would be done. And then we just, we help. The end product would be is the resurrection of our people. Because but we just realize that, see, the culture that we are in, unfortunate, and that's one reason why we were given Dianetics, is that the culture that we're in the nation, a lot of times, man, it's hard as hell to volunteer to help Black folks. You can't even volunteer to help us. We make it so damn hard to do good. The Quran said, believe and do good. But now once you start doing good, then somebody feel like you in their lane, as though they got a lane that's got their name on it. And so that's one reason why I haven't really been too aggressive and just really took the lead of the minister when he first stood back up. And Brother Wahid could tell you, he wouldn't even give a doggone interview to the press. And people got mad. I mean, people were, people wanted to cuss him out. I think he said one brother did cuss him out one time. And so it can be done, and I know we would have the support of everybody here. And it's a worthy thing. Brother Wahid had been mentioning for a while. We need to reach out. But I guess I might have some locks and some secondaries myself. I got some locks and some secondaries, see, because I'm the kind of person that, I will cuss you out.
Because you ain't clear.
Right. I don't want to be that clear where I maybe that's aberration speaking right now. But I'm just saying, see, I got buttons. You push a certain button with me, and that's one reason why I bounced around, because I just ain't no compliant Negro to no BS. You know what I mean? And so point well taken, and especially since you did say it publicly, we got to just sit down and try to hash something out and see what's up with that.
Brother Whitehead was twisting my arm yesterday.
Yes, sir. I know how he is. I know how he is. Sister Cheryl.
Well, and I'm not going to get the ghost, but I'm going to say, let's go forward. You brothers have fed all of us. You two are like roots that we are spreading out and getting courage to do what we need to do in the community. In Closing the Gap, I don't know what page it said, but I'm paraphrasing. Minister Farrakhan said, when an idea comes up, you're going to get opposition. You all got a good thing going. You are feeding us. You're auditing us to go out and do our little bit of sessions. So that's all I want to say. I mean, we got to love our people more than they hate themselves. We've got to understand where they don't understand. We got to make up for all of this until they can come to that level. Hallelujah.
All right, now we don't want to have to send the fire truck over there now. Thank you, sister. Yeah, we're gonna take care of it. We're gonna handle it. But I guess my thing is you just got to be wise. And I saw the minister. I witnessed the minister bring the nation back, and he was very wise. He wasn't in no hurry, But but at the same time, we know that time is getting short. Brother Clinton, go ahead on, and then we'll go ahead on and close it on out.
Thank you, sir. Quick question, two quick questions for Brother Lukman. Brother Lukman, how long have you been doing your program publicly, and how much ground has it been taken up in your neck of the woods? What response have you been getting?
How long have I been, what was the first part? How long have I been doing this?
Publicly, I mean, openly.
Well, I got on the journey. I got my gold seal back in 2000. I think it was 2012, and that was at the time when I was a chaplain in the prisons for the prison reform ministry, and I was bringing the Dianetics into the prison. I had brothers that were on the extension courses, and I was in the process of getting Narcanon into the prison system here in New York State. So I've been doing it publicly for we're talking about, since 2011. I've been writing articles probably for the past 3 or 4 years. I started writing articles for Dianetically Speaking, that's sponsored by Sister Naira and Brother David, and I've been doing the linking the Islam to the Dianetics since 2016. I think it's 2016 or 2017. But I've been writing for 4 or 5 years, linking the two things together. Did I answer both questions?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Now the workshop, the Supreme Wisdom, Supreme Tech, that's just 7 weeks old. That's a newborn.
Okay, praise be to God. That's really what I was asking about. And how is the community responding?
Well, many of the believers